All right, welcome back. Breaking news: TINUBU removes DSS boss, appoints Ajayi as new chief. There's a report here on Tribune Online, Tribune, Nigeria Tribune. Barely 48 hours after the resignation of the Director General of the National Intelligence Agency (NIA), Ahmed Rufai Abubakar, President Bola Tinubu has appointed Mr. Adiola Oluwatosin Ajayi as the new Director General of the DSS, Department of State Service, to replace Yusuf Magaji Bichi. The former DG was appointed by former President Muhammad Buhari on the 14th of September 2018. He had replaced Matthew Seyefa. A statement issued by Ajuri Ngelale, special advisor to the president, media and publicity, which announced this on Monday, also said Ambassador Mohammed Muhammad has been appointed as the new Director General of the NIA. It said Ambassador Muhammad has had an illustrious career in the Foreign Service since joining the NIA in 1995. He had served in various roles, culminating in his promotion to the rank of director and his subsequent appointment as the head of the Nigeria mission to Libya. The 1990 graduate of Bayero University, Kano, had served in North Korea, Pakistan, Sudan, and at the State House, Abuja. The new DSS Director General, Mr. Adiola Ajayi, rose through the ranks to attain his current post of Assistant Director General of the service. He had at various times served as the state director in Bauchi. All right, so these are okay. This is security DS.
Related.
Yes. So I wanted you to speak to this.
Yeah, I mean, you just captured the essence of what has just occurred as a matter of stated policy. You said it's security related.
Yeah.
And we are talking of intelligence agencies right now. One, that is the agency that is charged with the duty and responsibility of international operations, that is the National Intelligence Agency. If you know what CIA is about in America, the Central Intelligence Agency, you won't understand perfectly what the NIA, its Nigeria equivalent, what it is about, what it does. And the DSS, I do not know if it exactly measures, because some people love to look at it as the equivalent of the Federal Bureau of Investigation in America. I do not think that it is exactly like that.
Well, it's considered the primary domestic intelligence agency of Nigeria. So I guess they're domestic.
Sure, but when people try to compare between the FBI and DSS or SSS in Nigeria, because there is even this confusion about the proper nomenclature, whether it is State Security Service, which is captured. That is what is captured in the Constitution as its official title or name. Now, the DSS of a thing, with different administrations in Nigeria, they always shift the rule and the goalpost and the details. So we do not know if we should go with the Department of State Services or whichever. It is still the same agency. But I know very brilliant lawyers and constitutional scholars like the famous Femi Falana have argued that it is an aberration and misnomer to address the agency as DSS. That said, you have the entire Nigerian police force, which is a federal organization that would approximate to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, which is the American Federal Police. So beyond domestic intelligence in America, you find out that policing is a community, is a local affair completely in this country. You talk of campus police, you talk of borough police, you talk of county police, you talk of city police. No matter how small that community is in America, no matter how small the town is or the village is, it has its own autonomous police department, and the funding does not come. It's got nothing to do with the federal budgets or budgetary allocations. Now, you look at this arrangement, it's totally different in Nigeria. You have a very huge industrial complex called the Nigerian Police Force. And then each state governor is supposed to be the chief security officer within his or her domain. But in practice, this Nigerian big police organization can only be relevant and can be said to be listening to any governor when it is expedient to do so. More often than not, there is this huge federal control of if the president, for example, or its minister says, "Oh, Inspector General of Police, we need you to serve the interests of the federal government right now. Go and oppress the community or a particular governor." That is what they do. But when it is convenient, they can be used, they can be bribed sometimes, and most times, to go and oppress people just anyhow. So that said, we do not know what is fueling this minor, can we call it a minor, when something happens with NIA, when something happens with SSS, you don't say that is minor. We do not know what security architectonics they want to pursue at this time. Is this coming because of a certain biddings they wanted them to do that they did not carry out effectively, or they are signposting what is next on the agenda? For example, I've had some journalists that should be taken seriously and must be taken to account. It must be called to account by the international community, suggesting the idea of the NIA going after international critics, Nigerian-born international critics of the current administration in Nigeria, that they could be creamed, they could be taken out. The notion of state-sponsored international killings is beginning to have traction and is assuming a disturbing dimension at this point. Even what I'm saying now is enough for some of them to want to toy or, feel funny, toy with the idea that, go after Oladimeji Abitogun.
Yeah.
Such ideas have been thrown around, and we know a particular journalist who behaves more Catholic than the Pope in this modern day and time in Nigeria, always suggesting idea of, if this happened in Rwanda, that's a dog whistle. If whatever Traoré is doing had happened in Rwanda, you know what would be the result. That is a suggestion that they should go after him, go do some state-sponsored assassination. So at this time, every Nigerian overseas, we don't know what the mandate for Mr. Mahmoud is. We do not know what is driving all this. The government in Nigeria must put everything on the card, because it is not enough to be elected a leader. It is also going to be a matter of responsibility to show that there is transparency and there is a stated objective behind every state policy, every action taken. And this is what Nigerians must look at closely. This is what we all must scrutinize. What is the mission of these two guys coming on board at this time? Are they going to, since we know that certain names have been prepared and being touted and promoted as sponsors of the end bad governance protest, and that people are being held without trial for more than 24 hours, their constitutional right to peaceful protest is under serious attack at the moment.
Yeah.
It is apt, it is proper, and it will be appropriate to continue to ask, what is the mission of the new intelligence czars?
What does this mean In this
What does
time.
this mean? What does this translate into? Is there going to be some consolidation of the instinct that we have always suspected that, oh, this country may be in decline towards autocracy, totalitarianism, or more authoritarian dispositions? We will not be able to say at the moment. But looking at the way kings, chiefs, ordinary citizens, government functionaries, everybody, students, everybody is under threat in Nigeria. It's a country that is in a war without declaring war officially. More with its own citizens internally than against any foreign threat at the moment. So the NIA thing is not of major concern to me. It's also of serious concern. At this point, we all must do our work. We must pay attention to our constitutional obligations of monitoring what every agency does. For example, people have had me raise objections and questions about the presence of the military in my community, my birthplace, a few days ago. The coming of the police, the Amotekun, the other organization called the Civil Defense. Why would they be so eager to go and protect things that are unconstitutional? Yet bandits are everywhere on free range, running over communities, terrorists everywhere, so-called headsmen, armed robbers, all kinds of violent crimes on the spike in Nigeria. So if these people, if these new appointees of President Bola Ahmed TINUBU, if they really must be worthy of these appointments, honestly, they must pay attention to internal security. They must pay attention to internal security. They want to deal with external threat and what have you. Niger is a place to focus on right now. And all those three West African French-speaking mutineers within ECOWAS, and the possible disintegration of the Economic Community of West African States as an organization. That should be a major preoccupation for them, instead of wanting to launch after Nigerian citizens who want to hone their democracy, who want, to be counted when it comes to making the country work. If this is an attempt at launching after Nigerian citizens who have genuine dissent with the administration, this really will be sad. If it is about consolidating the security architecture of Nigeria, then it indeed will be worth every effort put into appointing them. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I guess we'll know until we know. Hopefully
That's
it's for good.
That's right.
Yeah, but
whether
like
overtly or covertly, whatever the intention is, it has to be. It doesn't. No Nigeria must be hurt. Home, abroad, wherever. The Showoras of this world must be safe. Those guys and all of us are ambassadors of the nation. I've never seen a country behaving like Nigeria before. Do you know the influence of Israelis in the diaspora? For heaven's sake, when the nation of Israel was established way back in late 40s, do you know that the famous nuclear physicist...
Don't tell any Nigerian that the nation of Israel was established in the 40s, that it wasn't 2,000 years ago. But continue, sir.
Yeah, they may both be right and wrong. If they are talking of Israel of the Bible, yes, more than 4,000 years ago. If they are talking of the modern day Israel, the nation, the country of Israel as we know it, is as recent as 1947, 1948.
Absolutely.
After the Holocaust, the wave of persecution.
We have to take every opportunity to educate Nigerians.
Yes, it came in the wake of waves of repeat persecutions, killings of Jews for centuries. Not just the 6 million annihilation, the pogroms or the Holocaust that was recorded under Adolf Hitler from 1939 to 1945. That was a defining moment. But remember, Albert Einstein, the man that invented the law of relativity in physics and or improved on it, and then developed under the Manhattan Project the concept of an atomic bomb, the one that sealed the fate of the Second World War through the killing of almost more than 90,000 people in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. When you remember about Einstein, in history, you will remember that he was the first honorary head of state of this modern day Israel. But he never went there. He had to contend with the breaking up of his family, running for his dear life from his birthplace in Germany, and rallying the consciousness and the very essence and presence of Jewish people all over the world to the emergence of Israel as a nation that can never be pushed over at any given time. The only thing, when he was made the honorary head of state, upon the creation of the country called Israel today, he never left America. Yet, he was never at any time diminished in the kind of awesome worship that his people and regards and admiration that the people of Israel have for him and all over the world till today. So why would Nigeria, instead of copying from this kind of good examples, antecedents, decide to persecute and launch after its citizens in the diaspora? The Yorubas will tell you that a finger that is singled out will never lift that load all the way to the head. It has to be a united effort of both Nigerians who live in the country and those of us outside the country. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Do us a favor, hit like button, share, subscribe, follow, turn up your notifications so you're notified when we go live. Without any further ado, check out this next segment. We'll be right back.